is how I draw my fibs. So we're gonna go to a chart over here. Just get a clean chart here. QQQ on the daily. Gonna erase all my drawings here. Gonna get rid of all indicators here. We don't need that. It's nonsense, anyways. So there's multiple ways to draw them. Your time frame's relative here. So sometimes, like, remember kind of having like uptrends or downtrends. How I kind of like to look at these candles is like this. So right, you have, let's go to our daily time frame here. Okay, you have a daily time frame here, and kind of where you identify your golden pockets are from your fibs. So right, we're gonna draw it from your pivot high to pivot low. Right, pivot high means like, excuse me, swing high. So here's your high. Swing low. Where's your low? Right here. That's where you get our 50% line. You see what happened at your 50% line? Bang. Okay, so mark that 50% line. We're gonna turn it blue. So we're gonna mark that. Oops. We're gonna mark it blue right here. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? You're blue. Okay. So we have our swing high here. Where's that next level that you might hit? Right here. Okay. Then you have your next level up here. Then you have your next level down here. Then you have your next level down here. Then you have your next level down here. Here are my fib settings. So swing high, swing low. Where I try to be unique with how I view my fibs is, right, it's not enough to do that there. So from like a larger time frame perspective, right, time frame's everything, right, we're on the daily time frame right here, okay, on the daily time frame right here, here's how I mark my fibs, okay. If it worked for everybody, right, everybody would be rich off of fibs, so don't just use fibs as a confluence. Right, the 4 hour, looking at structure here, what do we see, right, and notice I have my 24 hours, why is this important? So we're gonna watch the chart. Here's your regular trading hours. Look at that gap there. Is there actually a gap there? Nope. Not true. It's fake. So someone's going to call that a fair value gap. They're full of shit. Okay? Go back here to 24 hours. Watch this. Voila! No gap. Interesting how that works, right? Okay? So, right, time frames matter. And kind of what I mentioned yesterday in the video was, right, you have a left, you have your right, you have your head, right? What can you also do here? What could you have done here, right? So here's your left. Here's your head, right? You could have come all the way down here.
Take woke up now trending. See long setup. Entry 29,866. Stop 29,850. Target 29,879.
Hey, Prometheus, turn it off. Okay. So right here, right, you came down here, you have a flag, right? You have a bull, you have a bear flag right here. Here's your bear flag right here, okay? You came down here, you had another bear flag, right? Bear flag after what? Bear flag right here. Okay. So what can you do here as well? What could you have done here, right? You could have done what? Come all the way back down here. This would have been your left. This would have then been your head. Then you could have been your right. And what could you have done here again? Create a bear flag like this, right? And then came all the way back down, okay? So that's why it's important to have your levels marked out. Also, when you have your levels marked out, you can see what? Are you getting involved in a war zone? Yes or no? Right? I'd rather get involved here and adjust than in the middle of this. This is a war zone, okay? This is a war zone, okay? These are war zones. The move already happened, you missed it, right? Sorry, bud. Okay. So right here, from a 4 hour perspective, I just looked at structure outside of fibs. That's how I'm using two different things together. Coming down here to the 2 hour time frame here. Not really much to work with. Same shit. We're trying to be unique. We're trying to be different, a little bit different here is right. I try to look, so we already have, right, our levels for a larger time frame here, but if you're trying to trade, like, right, you can go to the 30. It doesn't really matter, the principle's the same here. Go to the 30-minute time frame here, and where's your swing high? Up here. Where's your swing low? Right here. That's relative to what? What's going on here. So I'm drawing a fib relative to what's happening here. Okay, this is how I'm using my fibs here, right? People have to be unique, right? So right, I have a larger time frame. Okay, I have my daily levels. What if I'm trying to scout for my intraday levels, right? And this is even intraday, right? This is just a 10-minute time frame. Intraday to me is more like 30 minutes. That's more of like king to me, if anything. So right, coming here from this sequence here to this sequence here, what am I doing? So right, where's my point of control? That's where I can also find my point of controls here. Mark your fibs here, right? Where's your 50% line here? And then where's your next levels right here? What do you also have here? A bear flag, right? It's the same thing every single day, okay? You can go down here. You can obviously break out of it. What happens if you break out of it? What also do you have here, right? This is where chart patterns come into play. Over here, right? What is this to me? Look at this candle here. People are like, oh, even if this was 6 different candles, right? Because if you go down to like a 4-minute time frame, right, you're gonna see like multiple candles here, right? I don't care. I see it as one candle. Here's your high. Here's your low, right? So, right, what are you doing here? Someone's gonna call it rising wedge. I don't care. Right here, grinding up here. So draw the candle right here. Okay, color it in. Rising up here, right? You can come all the way up here. Obviously, break it and break out. Okay, that's why it's a squeeze zone. Or you can do what? But tumble all the way down here. What does this look like here? Watch this. Mind blown. Clean everything off here. What do you have? Okay, so we're gonna mark these charts here, right here, real quick. We need to go to the weekly. Look at that, right? So that you can come all the way up here, right? This is a falling through here. You can even break it sometimes, right? Oh, it's not that. I'm like, fine, whatever, you know. But here, what do you have? What do you have here? Comes in all forms and different shapes and sizes, right? Just call what it is, right? People see it as, oh, there's a wick here, don't care. To me, that's one candle. If it is one candle, right, you wick down below, don't care. Right, come all the way back up here. What did you do? Okay. That. This is here. And this is also here as well. Time frames matter. Ball don't lie. Charts don't lie. People lie. Okay. What do you have here as well? Morningstar. Okay. It's all relative. Clean the chart off here real quick. If you were to drop your fibs here, where could you know, not financial advice, obviously. Where could you have gone short? Right here. Look at these levels here, right? You either come up or you come down here, right? And again, larger time frames, so sometimes a little bit more difficult to read. But again, break this here, high probability setups. Right here, okay, right here, and now you're right back above it here. That's how I use my fibs.